That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
Movie Night Crew Network.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Taylor from Cabin 6.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And this week we are joined by our friend Adele from Cabin 7.
Hi everyone, it's me, Adele. My pronouns are she and her, and I am Camp Half-Blood's happy sing-along leader.
Your hair is very like sing-along leader, like it's like perfectly like you'd be ready to go for
I am ready. Let me just grab my guitar actually, and I'll be ready to go. Here's Wonderwall, actually. Yeah.
God bless.
Sing some Sappho. Yeah.
That is the
so
only.
much.
That is the only answer to pulling out a guitar.
We
are in week 4 of our news, our last week of news.
Yeah. And the first episode of Content and Capable just premiered this week.
Featuring me.
Featuring Taylor. I haven't listened to that yet, so I'm excited. It'll have come out by now, but still.
2 weeks in advance. Yeah, you can check it out and listen to Sam and I talk about our gigantic-ass families. We both have too many siblings.
That sounds like you're gonna get rid of one or two. There's too many, so it sounds like you're organizing a hit you're organizing a hit to take out each other's siblings or something.
I have some brothers. I would not be mad about getting rid of.
I've just uncovered a plot.
Oh no, I'm very open about my...
Here we go!
Here is the tea!
I'm very open about my distaste of my brothers. Well, 2 of them. The one's fine. I have mostly sisters. They're okay. Sam's the opposite. He has mostly brothers. So yeah, you can hear me on that first episode talking about teaching theoretically, but mostly about our gigantic-ass families. Our other announcements include a restricted section going on its summer hiatus. It'll be back for Goblet of Fire on September 1st. What a convenient day for a Wednesday to be.
Choo-choo, the train for Hogwarts is leaving. Get ready for dragon and stuff shenanigans and whatever happens in that book, which is my least favorite.
What happens in Goblet of Fire?
I don't know. There's some dark shit. There's dark shit.
It might be on fire.
It just goes down.
Do you drink the fire out of the goblet? Does the goblet set you on fire?
You do.
Yeah.
I hope.
I
mean, I fucking hope. I got my nephews the first 3 books for Christmas. I'm waiting a couple years for Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well on the side.
You know, there's a little bit of death.
Just a bit.
Just...
Spoiler alert for Harry Potter, just kidding. If it's Harry Potter, it's all spoilers all the time.
It's been out for like 21 years at this point. Get a life. Read it. Or not. Buy it. Yeah.
Or don't. We can't tell you what to do, I guess.
If you do read it, buy it secondhand.
I'm gonna tell you what to do. Read Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that. Our other announcement, and like the last addition to the Movie Night Crew, is Movie Night Crew, the show, is getting a new editor. Jason is going to be taking over so that Pod Daddy doesn't have to do 20 million things on top of her own, like, job and stuff. And so you might see some changes to the formatting and just editing in general. So hopefully we'll be partnering up with Jason later this summer for the Lightning Thief movie as our Movie Night Crew crossover, and be very
I'm excited to cover the movie.
Oh god, the movie?
I am. Like, unironically, I'm excited because I can't wait to just, like, hate on it. But also, like, I like the movie, but also I want to hate
Hear me
on
out,
it.
though. Rosario Dawson as Persephone was hot.
You're not wrong.
It was hot. I haven't thought about the movie in years.
Fun fact, I saw it 5 times in theaters.
Of course you did. Although, I think I saw it twice.
Okay, it's an okay movie if you don't know the source material.
Yeah, but like tiny nerd Adele was like, actually, I was telling my dad in the car afterwards, actually, they did this.
Same.
Yeah, although that scene where they took the flower petal, spoilers for the movie or whatever, and I was like, drugs? Is this what adults do? They like eat flowers, and that is drugs? Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what weed is. I mean,
the Lotus Casino is like my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Because they're all on drugs.
Oh, don't do drugs, kids. I love the don't do drugs.
I love the chapter in the book, too. That's what we're recording next week, but...
That episode has eluded us, like, so many times.
We've tried to record it 3 times, but the one time I was lost in the Netherlands of southwestern PA. I got so lost. It was fine.
Okay. It sounds terrifying.
It took me like 3... It was not a fun time. I like texted Charlie. I'm like, I'm so lost. I'm so sad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember this.
And then the other 2 times I was sick in some way. 2 nights ago
Taylor's always sick or getting hurt.
Taylor has
We're
problems.
cursed by Zeus, actually.
Well, but I'm the one who keeps getting the follow. Yeah, now I'm gonna die because you.
No, you're gonna get turned into a swan, get fucked, and then you're gonna die or something like that.
Oh shit!
Not to get dark. Anyways,
good thing I'm going to a zoo this weekend. At least I'll be with other animals.
See, I like monsters. I'm not treading into the area of animals though. That's too far.
But is it a bear?
Wait, is it Bosco the bear from Avatar?
Yeah. Why are we not calling it a bear? No, it's just a bear. Is it I'm just watching Avatar for the first time.
It's so exciting. But you hate my girl Azula. I love Azula.
You hate Zuko, so you're not valid.
I hate Zuko?
That's fine.
Oh.
No, I do. I don't think he deserves a redemption arc. Like, I'm at the point where I know, like, what he's going to become. Because I like, now know the whole story about Sozin and stuff.
Oh, Sozin, yeah, got rejected by his boyfriend, and then decided to, A, ban gay marriage in the whole Fire Nation, and B, decide to, like, start, totalitarianism in the Fire Nation as well, and conquer everybody. Yeah. Just because he got rejected?
Yeah.
That's some gay shit right there.
Yeah. He's animated Hitler. It's fine. Except
I like
it's
his goatee.
Yeah, so I know, like, what Zuko is, like, meant to be, but he abandoned Iroh.
But have you seen them, have you ever seen them in the same scene together again yet? Maybe.
Yeah. Oh. I saw the scene with, like, Iroh in prison and Zuko's, like, telling him he knows the story.
Oh, that's all you've seen, though. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So the last thing you saw was the Avatar and the Fire Lord?
No, we watched one last night.
Okay.
I watched the bloodbending one last night. I was not...
Okay,
we should not have watched that at 11 o'clock last night.
I hate that that's a trope. Like, Puppet Master episodes in media, I hate that trope so much.
It's creepy.
It's so creepy.
It's really well done in American Horror Story Freak Show. But that whole thing is a fucking circus, so it makes sense.
I don't watch horror, and I feel like that in particular would scare me because clowns.
Oh, clowns.
Oh, that season's
Charlie
my
don't
favorite
do clowns.
season.
Clowns.
That's my favorite season, followed by...
The movie It scarred me.
I love it.
Like the 90s version.
Oh, the one with Tim Curry? Yeah, that one.
I never
That
watched.
one, the new one didn't scare me.
That one scarred me.
The new one didn't scare me.
I watched that one when I was 12.
Oh.
On a trip to Canada, no less.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow.
What a traumatic experience to have in my country.
A school trip.
Okay.
Let's talk about happy things.
Happy things.
Let's talk about gay
shit.
Let's talk about gay shit.
Gay shit. Pride Month, baby. Pride Month, aka the 1 month where all straight people have to stay locked in their homes like it's the purge. Otherwise, I will kill them. I'm just kidding, obviously. But obviously.
I thought it was the birth of the gays month. Like, it's just our birth month.
Oh.
All month.
So it's like Benjamin Button.
like
We just keep getting born. We're all babies, and we have a month to grow. Wow, I love that.
I just meant that we get rainbow cake every day. And, like, presents. So, every day.
So, should all gay people move their birthdays legally to June?
Then we would all be, like, I think cancers. I think we'd all be cancers. And, oh my god.
Well, it would be split.
Yeah, but we'd have half of the gay people are cancers. And I gotta say, I don't fuck with cancers. I'm sorry if whoever is listening is a cancer, but I can't.
Is that the first half of June or second?
The second half of June, I think.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. Let me check this. Hold on.
I know what mine is,
That's
and
the
I
second
know
half of June.
Yeah.
Because my mom is a Cancer.
I know
Oh,
what
I'm
mine
so sorry
is,
to your mom.
and I know that my dad's birthday is a Leo.
I love Leos.
That's like the extent of what I know.
I'm a Leo.
Yeah, I love Leos.
I know you are.
Oh, it's Gemini and Cancer. Okay, if you're a Gemini, if all the gays get switched to June birthdays, and if you're one of the Geminis, I'll like you. If you're one of the Cancers, you're on thin fucking ice.
What would you end up being?
A Gemini, obviously, because I'm an Aquarius already.
I'm gonna stay a Leo.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would rather have the birth month, but also my birthday. I'm just gonna keep both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pride Month, aka also when rainbow capitalism becomes a thing. And
Yay!
I love a good hashtag ally. I love going into Target and things and seeing the lovely, lovely Pride collections. I will definitely, yes, I will wear a 2-piece rainbow suit. Unironically.
Okay, but like, so I've been going to Target a lot lately, because I have to.
deposit your stripper money.
Yes, I get tips, so I have to deposit them, and they're all like ones. So I'm a stripper, clearly. But they have the Pride section like in the front of the store, and I'm like, yay! Pride is in the front, but also pressure.
Yeah.
Because now if I shop the Pride stuff, everybody's gonna see. They're gonna be like, you gay. I'm like, I just want to hide in the back and buy my rainbow shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I just found out that Pittsburgh Pride is happening this year.
I wish.
So I have to see if we're going.
I haven't been to a Pride parade in a long time. So I'm slowly losing my gayness every year that I don't go to a Pride and recharge.
No!
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to recharge it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom
I
was
went for
gonna
my
go
first
to Pride
time
with me
2 years ago.
Precious. I love that.
My mom was gonna go to Pride with me, but then last year happened.
The panini, yes.
So.
It happens. Yeah, I just went to my first one 2 years ago, because my family is less than kind to the gays. And you don't understand how exciting it was. Do you know how hard it is to find other asexual people at a Pride parade? So fucking hard. But all three of us had flag capes and we found each other.
I love that.
Okay, like more than half of like my college friends are ace.
That's funny. We like, there were like 3 of us. We found each other.
I love that.
Don't worry.
That's what Pride's for.
We had our capes on.
That is what Pride is for.
Do you have a flag?
I do. It's taken down right now because of moving.
I'm just happy.
Yes,
I
don't have the demi flag. I just have the regular ace flag.
See, you need the demi flag because you're a demigod.
Oh, speaking of demigods, are we on to discuss
transition?
Aren't we on to discuss? I love discussing gay stuff until the cows come home, but I do.
Yeah, do you want to tell us about some gay myths?
Please tell us the things.
Yeah, so I guess I
gay myth retellings, I should say.
Start with my Rick Riordan history. Should I do that?
Oh shoot!
Please do.
We really should have done that.
Or do
you mentioned this to me and I forgot.
Do you want to ask me and sound professional so that we can cut the audio again so it sounds like you were like on it? Because we can do that. No.
We
We're
people
not
know us as-
professional.
It is our brand. We are chaotic. Neutral.
Yeah.
I hope we're chaotic good.
Oh, definitely
I
good.
hope.
No,
No,
there's good.
we are full chaotic.
I love
neutral.
it. Yeah.
I'm chaotic good.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so I started reading the books in middle school because my dad actually bought them and read them himself. So this would be like 2006, 7, 8 kind of. And then my brother read them, and then I read them. And then I read all of like the new ones as they came out. So I had all of them in hardcover and like the original covers and everything. And there were a couple other girls in my class who also read them. So we're talking like Heroes of Olympus, Kane Chronicles.
Good shit.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, not to be like sad, but like I didn't have a lot of friends in middle school especially. So I would spend a lot of time...
Mood.
Yeah, so I'd spend a lot of time reading at recess, and it would be usually, at that point, the Heroes of Olympus series especially. And, I mean, what gay kid did not have a love for some sort of, like, mythology as a kid? So for me, it was Egyptian mythology.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the books, I had the figurines, I had the Playmobil Egypt sets.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I really liked the Kane Chronicles especially. And then I've never actually read the Trials of
Apollo. Make sure to have you on for those.
It's okay. I have not read Trials or
Yeah,
Magnus Chase,
I haven't read Magnus Chase either. I do really want to start because I do love Norse mythology as well.
It's gay.
It's gay. Yeah, and then I found out, so
gay.
I stopped after Heroes of Olympus, and then I'm like, what do you mean Rick is adding gay characters? I was like, so this whole time where I'm like shipping characters with each other, and you know, there's like yearning and pining, and I'm like, oh, like it'll never happen, it's all in my head. Then he comes out with gay characters. I was like, Rick, really? Yeah, but I'm a big fan of what he's done. I've read up on a couple of the characters. I'm not going to obviously spoil anything, and some of the choices he's made with characters from the series, like the Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson, and I really support it. I love Rick and the fact that
he's a perfect example of growth in a writer and recognizing where his failings were in his early stories.
Yeah, like, and for reading the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series, obviously, like, none of those characters were me, obviously. So seeing that he's grown and he listens to fans is part of the reason why I love him so much. And the reason why I keep coming back to his works. And, you know, when I have kids, I will definitely be, you know, reading this kind of stuff to them as well. So yeah
that also brings, like, we don't talk about the Riordan Presents books very much on here, but like his whole reasoning for starting that was really to help give a platform for voices that don't always get published. Like I know if we just ended Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And their social media, like, was posting, like, all the books within Riordan Presents, that were authors of Asian American or Pacific Islander ancestry, so that they could be like, hey, we have these books. They are written by these people. Like, so it is admirable how much growth you can see in someone. Whereas most people will stay stagnant.
Yeah, and
I believe,
or become worse.
Also, at least one of those authors is also a queer author too.
Yeah, we'd love to see it. Yeah, he's a perfect example of an author who continues to grow and change, unlike some authors of prominent fantasy series with small boys with black hair and green eyes who do special quests and adventures. But I forget her name. Her name is mysteriously disappearing from my head for some reason. But I'm sure it'll come to me. It rhymes with rhymes with curve, I think. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Is that
turf?
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh yeah,
I think that's her name.
Yeah. Anyways,
Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us, or at least in our age group, because you're only 2 years younger than me. Are you 21
I'm
or
21,
22?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're like 2 years younger than me. So I feel it was like the middle school book. Like,
it was the middle school book. Like, you were cool if you had this book, if you read it.
For nerdy... Oh, not in my school.
In my school it was.
Oh, no. No, there was like 2 of us who were reading it.
I don't...
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that a friend of mine and I would write, like, fan fiction set in the universe in a duotang, and pass it back to each other every day and write separate chapters.
That's awesome.
You were basically writing Heroes of Olympus.
Yeah, honestly, I should be in Rick Riordan Presents and publish that fan fiction, because it was really quality stuff.
Yeah. Mood.
Charlie, you look like you wanted to say
Yeah,
something.
sorry.
I know, I remember, like, you said this, like, forever ago, but, like, you know, being a middle schooler with, like, almost no friends, but I remember reading the Rick Riordan books at lunch, because I had, like, no friends to sit with.
RT. Yeah. Yeah, I used to read during class, and there was more than one occasion where teachers yelled at me to put my books away. And now I'm a 21
my math teacher
nerd,
and I were...
so that clearly worked. Your math teacher?
My math teacher and I would not get along well sometimes.
That sounds like a certain teacher named Mrs. Dodds. First Attraction Connection. I just started my reread along you guys, so it's been a lot of fun. I haven't read the series in years, ever since I got rid of my copies.
I have my original copies, but I had to buy new ones because the original ones are like...
Mine were
ripped.
literally falling apart. Like,
my copy of The Lightning Thief is still signed by Rick.
I love that.
When I got it signed, it was also falling apart.
Yeah.
And it still has my dead name on it because...
Yeah.
Just
cover it with a cute sticker.
I keep saying that I'm gonna, like, put some white out on it and then just write in Charlie.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so yeah, we just mentioned how we're eventually going to get queer characters in the Riordan verse. But alas, we don't at this point in our journeys. So hit us with some gay shit, Adele.
Yeah.
Just all of the gay shit.
I want all of the gay shit.
All of the gay shit. Yeah, okay, so... Okay, I'm trying to think where to start. Probably the first, like, queer Greek myth retelling that I ever stumbled upon, I think, was in 2014. And it is called The Dark Wife. It was published in 2011 by Sarah Diemer, I think her last name is. And so she published it free online, so it's available as a PDF to download. Oh. So very accessible. Love to see it. And basically what it is kind of like a novella, and it's a retelling of the Persephone and Hades myth, in which Hades is gender bent, so Hades is a woman. And
we love.
Yeah, and basically Hades is not the villain in this story. Zeus is the villain in this story. And there's also some gay side characters as well. And basically it's a romance novella about, obviously, Persephone and Hades. And I just love it. I read it. Yeah, so like I said, I think 2014-ish. So I was still closeted at the time. And I just thought this was the bee's knees. I was like, we got gay. Hashtag, I'm a hashtag ally. So I was like, wow, this is so cool. We have Greek myths. And it was free to read on the internet. So accessibility.
We stand some free shit.
Yeah. I don't really want to spoil it too much for anyone who's going to read it. Everyone should read it. I think it's really good. But yeah, like I mentioned, there's also some gay side characters as well, so it's not just Persephone and Hades. There's Cerberus as a puppy, which is really cute. I love Spot. Yeah.
As we all know, Cerberus it translates to spotted.
Really? I did not know that.
It does.
That's adorable.
Hades named his dog Spot.
I love that. Yeah, see, dogs are just good. I'm trying to think what else there is in there. Persephone is written, in my opinion, just really in a really interesting way. She's not as jaded as I think a lot of portrayals of her tend to be. Just because this is like a natural love story that kind of progresses.
Rather than a fucking
an abduction. Yeah, and like I said, Zeus is portrayed as the villain, which is really nice because if you really look at a lot of Greek myths, Zeus is the villain. Like
Zeus is the villain.
Yeah, name a bigger villain than Zeus who's going around and kidnapping and chasing people and turning people into bulls and swans. Yeah, no, thank you. It's going to be a no from me. Yeah, I really like that.
Fuck Zeus. Let's overthrow him.
It was just the way you ended that was just so like...
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't smite me with lightning, but
no, we've established he's gonna kill me for y'all's sins.
Yeah.
What he does is he keeps killing my technology. So
yeah, if the call unexpectedly drops, it was my fault. I do apologize.
Oh, it fucked up my recording last week. It's fun editing that.
Oh dear.
It was bad.
Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, it reads, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it does read a little bit like a fan fiction. Sarah Diemer, the author, if you're listening to this, I'm very sorry. I did not mean that as a criticism. But it's, and it's shorter. It's a novella. But yeah.
Okay, but like fanfics are like, they have that feel.
They're comforting.
And it can be good.
Oh.
It's very comforting.
Oh,
yeah. It can be good.
As a fanfiction writer myself, I would hope that some fanfiction can be good. Hopefully. Yeah. That reminds me, I still need to write that Calypso female hero fanfiction. It's in my head somewhere.
Oh,
I need to...
You said this in the Discord.
I did, yeah.
I remember this.
So, no spoilers for any other books, because I'm trying to be conscious of that. But my personal headcanon is that she gets a lovely girlfriend. I get those vibes. I get a little fruity vibes from her. Personally.
She truly deserves the best.
She does. She deserves
I definitely tried to write a similar fanfic.
Mm-hmm. Personally, if I would like rank the gods, this totally derailed. I just had this thought, but if I could rank the gods in which like order that I would put them, would probably be
Okay, this should be a bonus episode.
Oh my god, yeah, actually. Wait, but another thing, reading these books, and just Greek mythology in general, the Hunters of Artemis. Name something gayer than the Hunters of Artemis. I'll wait. There's nothing gayer. That's gay.
The Amazons come close.
Oh, I forgot about her. Yeah.
I think I would put the Amazons above the Hunters, just because theoretically they can have fuck parties.
So if we're going to talk about the Amazons, then we have to...
The Amazons just have orgies all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
Then we have to talk about...
I think they would be...
Xena the Warrior Princess.
Oh,
yes!
Shit, yeah.
Because this fits in with my theme. I did not write this in my notes, but this fits in with my special guest appearance of queer retellings, because name a gayer show than Xena Warrior Princess. Taylor, do you know what this is? Okay,
so fun fact. I was a small child when I watched that show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting show to watch as a small child.
Yeah, my mom has told me, like, that I watched this as a small child. This is why I'm gay.
Honestly...
Oh, is that what it was?
That clock...
You were not born this way.
That checks in.
Xena Warrior Princess.
So, yeah, Xena Warrior Princess.
I was brainwashed.
I discovered that probably, once again, high school. So I was in high school from 2014 to 2017-ish. So... Baby gay discovers Xena Warrior Princess. So, and also obsessed with Greek mythology and all that. So we've got Lucy Lawless in the tightest leather bodice ever, just doing parkour basically, and yelling,
Parkour.
doing like primal yelling, and like kissing her traveling companion. Like, yeah, very formative. But that's pretty gay in my opinion. And what I always liked about that show is that it never took itself too seriously and brought in a lot of elements from other mythologies. So I wouldn't necessarily just call it like a Greek show, of course, because there's, I mean, spoiler alert for Xena, I guess. There's like Julius Caesar's in it. I think there's some, like I would say more East Asian mythology in the later seasons. And the whole idea is that, I mean, there is a character named, I think there's Circe's in it at one point, and I think Calypso is also somebody else. Yeah.
Well, isn't there like, is it a spinoff of, or is there a spinoff about Hercules? I know.
Yeah, it's a
that's like
spinoff
thing.
of Hercules, and he's in it. And then he and Xena apparently like had a thing.
And she
has a thing with
she's
Ares.
fine.
Yeah, she has a thing with Ares. Although, yeah, the Ares in that show.
Gross.
No, the Ares.
I didn't realize Carl Urban was in it.
Oh,
Carl Urban's in everything.
yeah. Who is he?
He's Caesar.
Oh. Hmm.
I wish Xena was back on Netflix again, because I was gonna watch it and then they took it off Netflix.
You had it on Netflix? Canadian Netflix, I gotta say.
It was.
It's lacking. I had to pirate
When
it.
I was in college, it was on Netflix. My roommate was watching it.
Wow, for the past, 8 years, I've had to pirate it. If the government is listening to this. I have never pirated in my life, ever.
She watched it very legally.
Oh, yes.
Wink, wink,
Mhm.
wink, wink.
On a thing, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
We are pirates.
bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Yeah.
That also worked. Good job.
But yeah, so Xena and the Amazons, and just, yeah, it's just, that's big gay. That's big gay vibes. It definitely takes what it wants from history and changes, or not history, like mythology. History and mythology, and kind of changes it around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's a 90s show. Like, there's a lot of camp. How can you not like it? Yeah. Now I know what I'm going to rewatch this summer.
I love that.
I'm gonna continue to not watch anything because that's just sort of my thing.
You gotta finish Avatar.
Just not watching things. Yeah, we're 8 episodes into season 3. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm
get-
excited for you to watch Korra.
Joe has not decided if he wants to watch Korra yet, so we'll have to see.
I've almost finished rewatching Korra, and I started 2 days ago.
Kuvira. You know, I know that authoritarian dictators are bad. I get that. But
Good, I'm glad we know.
Strong, attractive lady, bend metal handcuffs. I mean,
It's fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
What other Greek? I'm getting off topic again.
It's fine. Have you listened to the rest of our show?
Oh, yeah. Another, yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
we took 20 minutes talking about a floating McDonald's, so...
I was at McDonald's yesterday. I love that.
Was it floating McDonald's, though?
No, I wish.
It was not the McBarge.
No.
I'm not over it. I'm gonna cry again.
Oh, God. The most recent queer retelling of, a Greek myth that I've come across, so, recent as in the past couple of months, was I was scrolling through Tumblr and I saw this post, and there's this really popular headcanon about Medusa and her blind girlfriend. I mean, there is also a headcanon about Medusa and her blind boyfriend, but we won't talk about that.
We don't talk about this. No.
Yeah, so there is a bunch of fan art. There's a bunch of little vignette, short stories. There is a whole thread on Reddit about it. But what I found recently, I was actually just checking it out yesterday when I was preparing to come on, is there's a webcomic called Medusa and Her Blind Girlfriend. And it's by Puree, and I can send Charlie the link to put in the show notes maybe. And the first couple panels or so are free, and then I don't know how you access the rest of them, but it's basically this priestess in a temple who's blind, which is how a lot of these headcanons seem to go. It kind of just stumbles into Medusa somehow and is like, oh, you know, hello. I don't know. It's like a meet cute, you know?
The one that I've seen is like she breaks like something and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then Medusa's like just blushing like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah.
I'm gay.
The webcomic that I saw was like, she's like, oh, like she's like feeling the statues and stuff. She's like, I must be in like a sculptor's garden or something. And then she actually accidentally breaks one of them. And I was just like, oh my God, that was straight up a person. Yeah.
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah. I've always really felt for Medusa, I think, as a character in Greek mythology. Just obviously when I read Percy Jackson, especially for the first time, I was like, oh, like evil, scary lady bad. But when you really go into her origins, I haven't reached that episode yet, or I don't know if you guys have covered it yet, so I don't know if you've chatted about it. Yeah.
Medusa.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so when you reach her origins and actually think about it, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And the idea of, not to get like deep, but the idea of trauma is really linked to, I think, coming out and the queer experience, at least in my own experience. And so in my headcanon, it like makes sense that she would be gay, having experience, not saying, I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, you're not saying that gay equals trauma. You're saying that trauma often is associated with the
yeah.
gay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Is that a good...
I mean, you can edit that out if that didn't sound right. But, she was a priestess of Athena. So, I mean, you have a women-only space serving a female goddess. And I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work at school looking into the lives of nuns and medieval nuns. And once again, that's kind of like a parallel there. And so I've actually come across a couple cool articles on like queerness in like women's cloisters and things like that, and just like agency and things. So the idea of like the Grecian female priestess is something that's really interesting to me as well. And I'm going on a ramble here, but
No,
it's good nerdy shit.
yeah, and it comes up so much in Greek mythology. So like in Medusa's origin story, boom, there's one. We've got one in the Oracle of Delphi, and all of the priestesses who serve her. Once again, like the Hunters of Artemis is probably, and the Amazons, both pretty famous, like women-only spaces. Yeah, I just think that exploration of femininity is almost inherently linked with queerness in a lot of ways.
It's interesting, in the webtoons, Lore Olympus, which I plugged a couple weeks ago in pod time. It's the episode that came out today when we're, like, recording. Editing Taylor, and now Taylor, and past Taylor, and the Taylor who makes the Twitter gets really confused about when things happen because I don't know which space I'm in.
Time is fake.
It gets real difficult. But it's interesting how they portray specifically Athena in that webtoon. Because Athena is like put into very traditionally masculine clothing, like
interesting.
Sort of like a sweater vest, like going to the office male attire. Very like short pixie cut, basically hair, more angular features that are often like associated with males in drawing, like, and just sort of encapsulating this idea of, yes, Athena is a woman, but she is her own person, and she spends a lot of time with Hestia because of the eternal goddesses of maidenhood. It's like it's a big thing with the story. And then you have Hestia who's like flowing orange, like flowing dress, like you see that dichotomy of, you have these women who are sharing the same space, sharing the same path in a way, but they don't have to be pigeonholed into the same
the binaries. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just...
What's that?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the idea of maidenhood and these goddesses of maidenhood, because just historically, virginity as a social construct, so maidenhood, was strictly a heteronormative, like, procedure.
Mhm.
So when we're looking at queer history in particular, and we're looking at, like, persecution and laws against them, it was typically men only that were persecuted, because any sort of interaction between women in that way was not seen as legitimate. It was, so we have the idea of virginity being, like, hetero only. So when I'm looking at these Greek myths and all this idea of, like, virgin goddesses and like women in communal spaces, like spending all this time together, and these, like, kind of cults of chastity and stuff like that, to me, the opportunities for, like, queer headcanons still are very much exist just because of that, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah. And to finish out, like, the three eternal maidens, Artemis is also there. It's like Hestia and Athena being, like, old ladies almost.
Okay.
And then you have Artemis, who's, like, battle ready at any moment, and she always just looks so miserable to be associated with the two
That's
of them.
interesting.
And it gives me such weird joy.
Interesting.
And it's surrounded by this idea of, like, Demeter being very protective of Persephone, and basically wanting her to join the eternal goddesses of maidenhood as this, like, protection of Persephone.
Yeah.
And how it doesn't, their personalities just do not mesh with who Persephone is.
Hmm.
And so it's funny, like, you put the three of them together, and there's just no... It does not make sense to have the three of them
That's
together.
interesting that they're very, like, three different kind of explorations of femininity. We have Athena, who you've described as a bit more, like, androgynous and, like, blurring the gender binary. Yeah. Hestia, who seems to be filling a more traditional role. And then Artemis in opposition to that, kind of, yeah. I find that really interesting.
Yeah, so shout out to Lore Olympus again. But, like, that's something I wanted to bring up, is, like, this... They can take these goddesses who are supposed to be maidens, like, that is their sort of role, but how, like, Rachel Smythe, who writes Lore Olympus, did a really good job of showing, even though they're maidens, it doesn't define who they are. They still have this personality. Just being in their position doesn't mean that they have to be the same. And that's, like, a really big misconception with, I think, anything queer. Mm-hmm. Like, you obviously have to fit into this mold.
Yeah, like, the queer community, I think, especially as we're actually coming up on Pride Month, it's, like, straight or queer, when in reality it's so multifaceted and so diverse. And not just in terms of, like, micro labels and things like that, but just in personalities and gender expression. I mean, gender and sexuality go hand in hand in terms of embracing beyond the binary, I find. Yeah, and beyond the norm. Yeah, that's a really good point, yeah.
I make them
occasionally. Yeah, and just bringing up Artemis again, I remember reading, and when Artemis is explored later on, and just Artemis in general, not just in the Percy Jackson series, but also in mythology, and the idea of women operating without men. Speaking once again in this context of in a binary, but women operating without men and having agency and, you know, controlling their lives and controlling their narratives. As a middle schooler, that was really intriguing to me. So for a while, I was like, oh, I wouldn't be Apollo's child. I would go join the Hunters of Artemis. So I would reject this traditional, you know, more hetero narrative. Now, obviously, as I've embraced my own queerness and as I've grown as an individual, looking back on this kind of idea of the hunters versus having like a godly parent. I know it's like a headcanon for sure, but yeah. I don't know if that point made any sense either.
Yeah, you're good. I got it.
Personally, for a while I was like, oh, Hunters of Artemis, but now I'm like, oh no, it's definitely Apollo. Looking at every aspect of my personality and just my interests. Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
he is also obnoxiously loud, like me. So, that'll do it.
He's also obnoxiously queer.
Yeah. He is. I do love him for it. So I guess the last thing that I had prepared to kind of chat about, I kind of saved it the best for last, is something that has kind of made a resurgence over the past year, I would say, in popularity, especially thanks to TikTok, I would say. So there's been a resurgence in headcanons and fan art and new fans of this book, which I'm really excited for. And it's the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And it came out in 2011. Yeah, I see Taylor nodding. Yeah.
It's on. So I've read Circe.
Yeah.
I have not read Song of Achilles. It's on my bookshelf. I even said in the episode that came out today that I was going to read it in time for this. But it's the end of the school year and my ass has been kicked. So I didn't get it. So it is on my shelf. I'm so excited.
I read enough for the both of us.
Circe was so fucking good. So
I've read Circe too, so we can chat briefly about that one if you want. I mean, I don't think there's any queer characters, but it's her second work that came out in, I want to say 2016 or 2017.
Yeah, I was going to say 2017 or 2018. So we'll go 2017. That's in between our two guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before you get to Song of Achilles, with Circe, like, yeah, there isn't any traditional queer, like, what we might define, like, that sexuality stuff. But you can see Circe taking on a role that is different from the traditional gender norms that you would associate with a goddess.
Yeah.
As, like, she becomes her own person. She runs her island. She beats the shit out of people. She turns them into fucking pigs. I mean, that's in the actual myth, but, like, it's very interesting to see her sort of not need other people.
Yeah. Yeah, she is what Madeline Miller has done to give a woman in history or in mythology. I keep confusing the two.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
2018.
But to give kind of a character that kind of gets the short end of the stick a little bit in a lot of mythology.
Yeah, I mean, she's treated very well in the Odyssey.
So she's given agency. So Circe is a retelling from a woman's point of view of the Odyssey, and explores obviously Odysseus's journey home. But the Song of Achilles is her retelling of the Iliad, for people who kind of know Homer's works and such. And it specifically focuses, I mean, Odysseus shows up in the book as a character, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But it specifically focuses on the relationship between Achilles and Patroclus. And that is a relationship that has been contested throughout history as to whether it is a homosexual relationship or if it's a platonic relationship. And what really interests me is Homer definitely has some homoerotic undertones in his writings regarding this relationship. And in a lot of the classical worlds, that was kind of the norm when retelling the myth. But as we got into the medieval period and, the rise of Christianity and stuff, it was kind of changed and held up as an example of a really strong platonic, like, brotherly bond. Like, right up there with, what's his name? David and, David and Jonathan in the Bible, and yeah, so like that strong example of like what a brotherly fraternal bond can be, which really interests me because of the homoerotic nature of Homer's kind of original source material, and just because that we know that in ancient Greece, we didn't have the same heteronormative society as we do kind of today. I guess that's majorly spoiling the book for anyone who hasn't read it, but
I mean, it's a retelling of the Iliad.
Yeah.
It's a story that's been out.
Yeah, I can't really spoil like the Trojan War. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like
if you didn't know Achilles was gay, I'm sorry. He's gay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I personally read it. I found it in like a used bookstore, probably back in like once again, early to late middle school, and I really liked it. And I'm so happy to see that it's gotten this huge resurgence. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like at the bookstore and I was like, oh man, they're really pushing this book. Which like was not a problem for me. I was like, cool.
Which is wild.
You're on sale.
It came out 10 years ago, and it won the Orange Prize for Fiction, which, if I believe correctly, the Orange Prize is for like queer authors and queer stories. Yeah, I've read a couple other like books that I can't remember the names of right now. Oh, Orange is Not the Only Fruit, I think, also won that prize. Anyways, yeah, so it won so many books, so little time. Yeah, it won a bunch of prizes, and yeah, it's been reprinted a bunch recently, and it's so good because it starts with this perspective of Patroclus, and I mean, spoilers for the Iliad, I guess, but they go to the Trojan War, and, Achilles and Patroclus have grown up together. They're having a relationship as what it is at this point. But Achilles' mother, who is a nymph, I'm pretty sure. No, a naiad. Yeah. Wants him to become an eternal god. So there's all that. And then they're at the Trojan War, and everyone wants Achilles to fight because he's supposed to be like the strongest fighter of, his time or something like that. And Patroclus tells the story. So it's really interesting to kind of see things from his point of view. Especially what eventually happens in the Trojan War with Achilles and Hector and Paris and all of those other characters. Yeah, I don't have any criticisms of it, honestly. It's one of the best books I've read, just from a nerd, just in general. Yeah, just because it's so fresh, just like the idea of this reach. And this was 2011 too. So I mean, queerness in society and queer stories, I think, have become a lot more have been given a lot more space to grow and to like speak, just like more platforms now than in 2011. And so I'm just so happy to see that it's still doing well. And I loved Circe, and I cannot wait. I'm sure she'll write something else. I'm hoping we get a lesbian protagonist. Personally, if she explores Sappho a little bit, I'm hoping for that. I think that'd be great.
I will get to it as soon as I am done moving. It is on what is next on my to read list, but I guess I gotta finish moving first.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I do love it. Yeah, and I just mentioned Sappho. I mean, I don't think we can talk about. Did you talk about that with Haley? Sappho?
No, it didn't actually come up.
It didn't.
Okay, you can talk about Sappho.
Oh my god. Can I talk about Sappho ever? So, big nerd moment here. So Sappho is where we get the term lesbian from, because, to make a long story short, she had like a school on the island of Lesbos in the Mediterranean where people would send their girls to get educated. So, poetry, music, all that fun stuff. And so she frequently had affairs with her students and with her contemporaries.
Like you do.
Yeah. And So, like you do, I mean, a little bit of abuse of a teacher-student relationship there, I guess. But what's so interesting about Sappho is so much of her poetry survives in these fragments, and their pronouns are very explicitly towards other women. Yeah. And the longest, and yeah, for a really long time, historians would when translating would change the pronouns. And I actually came across, this is like another nerd moment here, but it's kind of fun. I actually came across that a couple of months ago. So I just did my degree in classical performance. So I did vocal performance. And I was singing this piece from around 1700. And the text was the longest poem we ever have of Sappho's. It's called The Hymn to Aphrodite. Yeah. And it's talking about a scorned Sappho. She calls upon Aphrodite to come help her with her lover, and she uses the she pronoun. But in my music, it said he. And, I was like, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Stop the brakes. Like, let's see what's going on. And then I did some research. And I found that, throughout history, the pronouns have been changed. So it was a lot of fun, actually, to sing that and to record that with the she, her pronoun in it. Yeah, it just felt like a little bit of, like, reclaiming that. Sappho.
It's like, haha, fuck you guys.
Pretty much. Sappho has always been, well, she's a icon in the lesbian community, especially. But just a Greek, like a real Greek person, but also there's still a lot of mythology surrounding her. So... yeah, I love her. She's great. I definitely suggest looking into her more. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have you on for a bonus episode sometime to talk more about her.
Yeah.
Next Pride. We'll just have an entire episode on Sappho.
Wow.
That way it can be on the main feed.
I love it.
I'm writing it down. I already wrote down which god would you fuck.
God.
I gotta...
we should, like... For that episode, we should just have, like, our friends send in clips of them telling us,
Honestly,
rather being, like...
that's what I was thinking,
like,
too.
Okay, like, instead of just a full episode, it's just, send in, which god would you fuck and why?
I love that. I would definitely submit for that. I already know.
And then you and me criticize it.
The choices. I gotta say, I'm a lesbian, but I think Dionysus would be pretty high on my list.
Dionysus is the patron god of our...
Yeah,
like,
he's the patron god of the pod.
I gotta say, he just gives off good energy. I don't know. Something about him.
He's also very genderqueer,
yeah.
So, like...
yeah, I mean, who even knows anymore?
Like, I would definitely put, like, wreaths, like, a wreath of flowers in my hair and, do a little striptease and, like, dance with some satyrs and drink some wine with him. And, I'm here for that vibe. That's, like, Greek cottagecore.
Would you fuck the Maenads?
No. No, I don't think so. My heart truly belongs to the Sphinx in Harry Potter, as we've established. She can...
Adele,
reading
monster
that
fucker.
I hope they have me on for that episode. Just saying, because then I could talk about the Sphinx.
Christina, if you're
reading
listening,
that chapter reading the chat while y'all were watching that movie was fucking wild.
Yeah, and I wasn't even drinking
because I wasn't watching the movie.
I was
reading the chat every once in a while, and I was like, "Dear fucking Lord." I'm so concerned.
And this is basically where Adele got her title, monster fucker.
Yeah, in terms of Greek mythology, I'm trying to think if any one of them jump. Well, Medusa, honestly, Medusa. I mean, yeah.
I couldn't deal with the weird snakes.
I don't mind snakes. I saw a snake the other day, so.
Oh, I don't mind snakes as long as they're not touching me. I can
get into that though. That's okay. That sounds fun.
I can touch a snake. I don't want the snakes to touch me.
I have a question about Medusa.
I need that agency.
Is all of the hair on her body snakes?
Ooh, it would have to just be the hair on the head because
I don't know.
Because like the only place you don't have hair is on the bottoms of your hands and the soles of your feet.
Yeah.
So then theoretically, she would just be
because she's a
snake.
Gorgon, and I think in mythology, Gorgons are described as having like snakes coming from their heads.
I believe it's snakes for hair, but yes.
We'd have to dig out some sources for that to check.
I'm just saying I have seen art of this.
That's art I don't want to see.
Yeah. I will be clearing my browser history after tonight. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Medusa, yeah. For some reason, the Trojan horse just popped into my head, but then I was like, that's not a bouncer. That's a fully wooden building. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rolling wooden building.
You want wood?
No.
Adele, you want that wood?
No. God, no. Oh my god.
You look like you just, like, almost threw up in your mouth. I know you didn't, but, like, the face you made, that's what it looked like.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Pass.
The harpies kind of scare me, so that's going to be a no. Oh, the sirens. Okay. One note of a siren's call. Bitch, I'll be swimming. I can swim fast. I'd be gone. Definitely.
They would consume you.
Oh, what about the one who lives in a cave?
Fine.
And has the long...
Oh, Scylla?
Yeah.
That's Scylla.
I'd fuck with that. Oh, and Cherbotis, her sister, the whirlpool. What?
Charybdis, yeah.
Yeah, how would... I'd be interested to see what sex
She's
with
just
the
a whirlpool
whirlpool...
of teeth.
You know what? There's a lot you can do with that. You gotta have your imagination open, Charlie. A whirlpool of teeth? Sign me up. I'll try anything once.
That's a tweet. That is a fucking tweet.
Sign me the fuck up. This is my brand now. I'm never escaping this.
People are gonna just, like, join the Discord someday when all the other shows get Patreons. And they're just gonna be like...
Who is this?
Why does that one say Jish's #1 fan? Why is her name Monster Fucker?
True.
It's so
like
confusing
my name
when
my
I
name
see
doesn't
Jish
have my own
and
name.
Taylor typing at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, it's confused me multiple times as well.
I can change it, but also I want to be Jish's #1 fan,
Just like
and I
put
want
Taylor
everybody to know.
in like parentheses
No.
or something.
I love so much about how this little Discord community has grown. It makes my heart so happy.
It is. I'm glad we let Jish in, even though we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
He keeps us young.
He does. Not that I should. I don't. Not that I should call myself old.
I mean, it's fine. I teach, like, the oldest student I have is 20. I am 23.
Wow.
It gets so
Damn,
weird.
I could never. I don't have. Yeah. You know what? Teachers truly are the backbones of our society. So I hope you know how much you are appreciated. Teachers, I love teachers. I could never.
Taylor,
I
I
could
love
never.
Do you remember Teacher Appreciation Week? And I was like, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. I don't feel very appreciated.
Oh, that.
I do remember that.
It was, yeah. But, so it's always just so weird because I am only 23. Yeah. But sometimes I'm like, oh man, I'm talking about the Berenstain Bears and these kids don't even know what that is.
Fuck those kids. They should know Berenstain Bears.
Because I was talking about the Mandela effect today.
Oh my god.
And like how as a kid, I always thought it was Berenstain Bear. But it's Berenstain Bears.
So dumb.
Wait, are the Berenstain Bears Jewish? Because that sounds like a very Jewish last name.
I mean, Berenstain, both sound Jewish. I forget who wrote them.
Like, not...
This is so relevant.
Yeah, I know, right? This just in! Beloved children's bear family are Jewish. No, beloved children's bear family celebrates Hanukkah.
Oh, they were the people who wrote them were from Philadelphia. Actually, they are Pennsylvanians.
Is that where
Cool.
Philly cheesesteaks come from?
Yes, they are from. The people in Philly will tell you can't get an actual Philly cheesesteak outside of Philly. I mean, it's essentially the birthplace of America, so I guess that's a sort of important place.
Is it where the what you call it was written?
The Declaration, the Constitution, all of it was written in Philadelphia.
Wow. That's cool.
But we were the second state.
Oh.
America!
Figure that one out.
Yeah.
Figure that one out.
Did you guys?
I live in the same state as...
Yeah. You guys know that America tried to invade Canada once, right?
Oh, yeah, I went there.
Just gonna rub it in.
You also know, like, you guys were, like, owned by the British.
Still owned by the British.
They are still owned by the British.
I mean, technically, we're a dominion now. We're no longer a colony.
Yeah,
but we're still part of the Commonwealth.
What was it? As of the 80s was when it finally, like, switched over.
We're a Commonwealth country, which, aka the Commonwealth is just a remnant of imperialism. But that's a conversation for another day.
This has gotten so off the rails.
Yeah.
My computer has 10 minutes left on it, so I guess we should wrap up.
Yeah, I think I got through. Hopefully there wasn't too much. Okay, if any of my ramblings sounded like there was no point or that it started to get problematic, in which I did not want to be problematic, I'm just thinking about that one and I was talking about trauma. I don't want it to be like, oh my god, who
I think you got that.
Who is this girl? Like
okay. Where can the peoples find you on the interwebs? If you want to be found.
Yeah, so my Twitter is at Adele_Marilyn. And I can send that to you guys so you can put that for the spelling in the show notes, maybe. My Instagram is the same thing, except a dot instead of the underscore. And yeah, that's pretty much the only places I am, aside from hanging out in the Movie Night Crew Discord, where I like to share memes and TikToks. And be really active for like 5 days and then disappear for like
We don't hear her for a couple, and it's like, is Adele okay?
Pretty much.
Is she fine?
But that's pretty much where I am. Yeah.
Just know we miss you when that happens.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, we do miss you. We just get concerned.
I just forget. I'll come back more often. Awesome. Yeah, and I'm
terminally online. So
yeah, you're always online. I can send you links to all of the kind of like books and things that I mentioned if you want to put those in the show notes.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on to talk about like one of my favorite subjects, me being gay, and one of my second favorite subjects, Greek mythology. So
gay.
Yeah, I am nerd. No, I nerd.
I nerd.
I gay.
I gay.
Friends.
Question mark.
Merch.
Woo! I love to see it.
Okay, so it was great to have you on. It's just so exciting to have guests on, having you both Haley and Adele on. We'll be back with our regular scheduled Percy next week.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and so it's the end of the pod. Taylor, it's time to come out of your closet.
You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. You can follow me, Taylor, at Taylor from Cabin 6 on Instagram, and Historical Femme, spelled FEMME, on Twitter. Catch me on episodes of the Restricted Section, Hell from Elsewhere, and True Stories of a Tryhard.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, mainly Instagram and Tumblr. But on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm not salty about. No, not at all. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use, at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack. That's MACK.
Our music was written by Nora Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian Emmerich. You can find Nora at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your pod. She's the host of Siblings and Fandoms, where Nora and her sister Maddie talk about fandoms they're part of, ones they're not, and everything in between. She is also the host of Modern Musical Origin, which is an informative show delving into the history of different instruments and styles of music. You can find both of those pods on all the major podcasting apps. We are proud to be a part of the Movie Night Crew Network, which features the Restricted Section, a chapter-by-chapter Harry Potter pod with lots of spoilers all the time, the Movie Night Crew, join some friends as they react to some terrible, some meh, and some really great movies, Fandoms Gone Wrong, a fandom-filled show co-hosted by our own Charlie, My Cabbages, an Avatar podcast that follows the true hero of the Avatar The Last Airbender series, the Cabbage Cart Guy, and Content and Capable, where we follow Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adult.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I've recently become an adult, but let's be honest, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like, can I still enjoy the kiddie rides at theme parks? And how do I look important and feel relaxed while travelling? Join me as I ask people how they are content with their life and feel capable as a functioning adult in society. Each Monday, myself and a guest will chat about a topic they feel passionate about and our adventures and struggles of being an adult in the real world.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now, we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.